for the new members of the cast, what kind of initiation process was there, and what exactly convinced you to join this ragtag bunch?
Is that me?
Yeah,
I'm the new member of the cast. Well, James convinced me, obviously. He's extremely persuasive. Not that I needed convincing. And, I mean, initiation. I feel like my first day on set was when we were shooting in the throne room. And I was obviously terrified, but playing this extremely powerful creature. And which is a great juxtaposition in your head. And I remember sort of sitting up on this throne for a long time, and all the guardians were in front of me. It was so intimidating. And it was about 2 hours before we spoke to each other, I think. And they all came up in this line to sort of come and say hello. And I was like, please come and say hello. And then that was fine after that.
You had it easy. They do this weird thing. I didn't quite know what to make of it. What's that? Yeah, and it's so weird. You have to do this thing. You have to go to Chris's house. I mean, I don't know how much I can say. It's really.
That's our thing.
It's just weird. I don't know what to say, but you have to do it. And I did it. And you passed.
And we're love.
Wait, I think we need a little more. So you're saying that you had to. Chris is hosting a dinner party, and that's how.
You have to bring over some food. No, I'm just kidding. No, I was. Listen, you know, the truth is that when I read the script, I wanted to make sure I was kind of understanding it correctly, and I hadn't seen the first movie. I'm not much of a moviegoer, so I knew that everybody loved it, though. And I also knew that everybody, all of a sudden, one day I was doing Hateful Eight stuff like this, and all of a sudden, boom, 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 my phone and the people around me would say, are you going to do, oh, that's great, are you going to be Star-Lord's dad, are you going to be Peter Quill's father, and are you going to do Guardians of the Galaxy? And I just was like, guys, I don't even know what they're talking about. And I saw the movie, and when I saw the movie, I immediately started getting it, but I also immediately started wanting to do it, and that was immediately followed by, everybody loved the first movie. What you don't want to do is do something that's going to make them not like the second one, right? So you do feel that pressure. I don't know about you, but it's like I said, yeah, I told James that. I said, I don't want to mess this thing up, so I need your help. Hello.
Yes.
Like that.
I think all of us in this room are fans of Mr. Russell and your legacy in cinema. Were you guys able to keep your cool? I know that you're a fan too. How was it having him on set being your dad?
Oh, it was terrible. He was a nightmare. Oh, wait, back in your ear.
You know, there's this thing that happens, like you promise yourself you're not going to do this thing that happens every time you meet someone who's an icon, someone that you've known way longer than they've ever known you, and you've seen all their stuff, and you know, you have this opportunity from time to time, if you're lucky, to work with someone like a Kurt Russell. And you promise yourself you're not going to do the thing where you geek out but it's a little inauthentic if you don't. Because if you just go in there and you be like, oh, what is it, Kurt? Hey, nice to meet you, Chris. And like, I don't acknowledge the fact that how much I love him and what a fan I am. If you don't get that out of the way, then it feels a little inauthentic. So I think I did that immediately. And then it doesn't really take that long to tell someone that you really love them, you really respect their work, and for them to go, yeah, thanks. And then that's it. At that point, you move forward, and there's this really cool thing that is probably the one thing I never would have imagined looking forward when I first moved to Hollywood, but like the greatest part of it, the biggest secret is you become somebody's friend and somebody's peer rather than a fan, and that's really nice. And I think Kurt and I have become friends. We connected on a lot of things outside of just the movie, and you know, I have his cell phone number, and I'll give it to each and every one.
310.
Perfect. In coming back for doing the second one, is there one thing that you wanted to make sure not to mess up? That you feel like you really got
the
right?
movie. I wanted to continue the film from the first movie. You know, it was so many sequels are not good. And the primary reason in studying them seemed to be that so many of them just kind of do the same thing the first movie did with a different template. And so they say, oh, people like the dance-off in the first movie, so what's our version of the dance-off? People like We Are Groot in the first movie, what's our version of We Are Groot? And instead of doing that, we really tried to let these characters grow and change. We want to watch them become new people and different people in every film that we come up with. And I think allowing them to just sort of be themselves and do their thing. I know that sounds strange because I'm writing what they say, but sometimes I'm just letting it happen inside my own imagination and letting the characters go where they wanted to go. I think the thing that I didn't want to mess up was just trying to be a rehash of the first movie. I think people were surprised by the first movie. People have been surprised by the second film. And to give people something new and something different from what they already had.
I couldn't help but notice, someone pointed this out to me, I didn't notice, but it seemed like Peter's shirtless scene was a little longer in this second film. I don't know if that was a request from someone or if it was designed. How did that?
Well, that was my request, wasn't it?
Rooker. In fact, we didn't know we were being filmed for that scene. That was Rooker often asked his male co-stars to be shirtless, and he enjoys that.
Oh, yeah.
No, that was Kevin Feige has a rule that that's the one thing he gave me full creative freedom, except there must be Chris Pratt shirtless. Beefcake portion of
we have to meet. I will say the greatest shirtless scene in this film by far, though, goes to Mr. Michael Rooker. It's no joke.
We were just talking about
James about this. There's this really beautiful. I can talk about things that happen in the movie, right?
Yes.
Be sure if you haven't seen the movie, when you do see the movie, be sure to pay attention to the moment we see Yondu for the first time. It's, in my opinion, a series of wordless, pictures that truly that moment to me is when this film transcends the genre. I'm not joking. It sounds like I'm doing a bit, and I'm really not. We were just talking about this.
They're still there.
It's so.
We were talking about it serious.
It's so beautiful because, and is it bad to talk about why I thought it was so great? Because I don't want to. Okay, I want you to come to your own conclusions and stuff, but Yondu is shirtless. He's essentially naked and really vulnerable. And you see that he's just had sex with these crazy robot prostitutes or something from space. And there's this look on his face. He never says a word, but you feel his pain. You know that he's hurting inside. You know that he's lonely, and you know that he's vulnerable. And then immediately you cut to him walking in fully clothed with his ravagers behind him and his sense of power. But because you saw him naked, you know what's going on inside of his mind, and that pathos carries the entire arc for Yondu through the whole movie. And I was just talking to James. It's beautiful, man. It's so good. He doesn't even say a word. So that's way better than a guy who's like, I'm gonna take my shirt off and sniff this one, put this one on. Check it out.
I will say, you had the great idea of sniffing your armpit. Yeah. Which is we kind of take the Marvel shirtless sexy scene, and right when you think he's being very sexy, he's smelling the armpits of an old shirt to see if it's okay to wear.